Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, Lord. Today has been a day. I just been on one. I've been, you know, just feeling the type of way about certain things, you know. And I'm here to talk about T.I. and Tiny and the situation with Deja, and that's just kind of like a continuation of the things that I was talking about on my Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just okay. So let's just go ahead and get into it. All right. So it's the last day for this trip to Mexico. All right, everybody's about to wrap it up so we can go back to Atlanta. It's still awkward. Deja still has not talked to Tip, and Tip has still not reached out to his daughter because he feels like if she had anything to say, then she would just come to him and say it. I feel like you're the parent, so you are the one who was supposed to go and check on her because something you did, you did, has a whole bunch of people coming at her, a whole bunch of grown men offering to buy her virginity like it's Amazon Prime or something like that. Like, this is a thing, and you just completely ignore, you know, what you have put your daughter through by speaking on her sexuality on a public platform as if it was something for you to joke about. And then you kept saying that it was a joke, it was a joke, it was a joke, it was a joke. And you want people to think in some way you progressed from this mind frame of thinking that you can joke about your daughter's virginity. Like, what is that about? Who does that? Who does that? Like, my daddy didn't even want to talk about such things, let alone joke about it as if it's something that can be tossed about. You know, oh, I take my daughter to the doctor to make sure her hymen is intact. You know, because it's so very important to me that she remains a virgin, because she is only, you know, worthy if she's clean and unsoiled. And that's how he sees women. And he doesn't even understand, and nobody on the show spoke to that mind frame. They said it was misogynistic, but they didn't say that you're acting like your daughter can't be one of those women who you cheated on Tiny with. She can be. Because men like you make excuses for other men and boys when they objectify women in this way. Her virginity is of some value to you as her father. As long as she don't come home with a baby, she not doing porn, and she didn't end up on the pole, I feel like you can say you did your job. Checking to see if her hymen was still intact as a punishment, because you couldn't trust her word on what she did when she snuck out one night, as if kids don't sneak out. Like, word. And let's not even, like, let me go blow by blow so I don't miss anything. So Latrice, Tip's mama, who, let's not forget, is the same age as the sister who just passed recently, what that was like last year. Same age. So whatever Tip's pa was going through, it wasn't right. Because you shouldn't have a daughter and a baby mama the same age. Like, that's... I'm sorry, that's disgusting. Latrice went to talk to Deja, and she told Deja that Deja needs to go and talk to her daddy and let Clifford know how she feels about what has transpired. Deja feels like, I shouldn't have to go to him. He's the one that messed up. He's the one that did something wrong. Why do I have to come to him? And I think a part of the reason why she didn't even want to go to him, not even just because she don't know how to verbally express to her father how she's feeling, but also because he is the type of person that will turn something around on you. You know, y'all know how parents are. You can never tell them they're wrong about something without them acting like you just disrespected them by telling them they were wrong. You know what I'm saying? As if they're infallible or something like that. Like, you're not. You're not. Reginae and Toya sit on the beach and they talk about the situation. And Reginae is like, nobody's checking me about my situation. Nobody. I'm like, that's because, first of all, your father isn't even like, like nearly as present as T.I. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I feel like, can we talk about that? Like, I know we about to beat the shit out of T.I. in a minute, but can we talk about the fact that T.I. is more of a present father to his children than Lil Wayne is to his? As if these two people don't have the same profession, because I feel like people are always making excuses for Wayne, as if T.I. isn't somebody who has still been there with their children as much as he can on a day-to-day basis versus living in an entirely different state from his children. But either way, you know, I just wanted to make a point about that because it's obvious, you know, it's obvious it can be done. But Wayne didn't want to do it. So that's one reason why Reginae won't have somebody checking her like that. But also because I don't think Toya would allow it. I think that Toya feels like as a mother that is her purview, and that's that. Now see, the difference with this situation with Deja is that Deja's mama and her daddy don't live in the same household, and Tiny does not have enough of a backbone to speak up for Deja when she is in their household. So Deja is just subject to whatever Tip wants to happen when she is in their household. Versus if she was in a household with two of her parents, the mama would have been there to be like, nigga, have you lost your mind? Okay? Because something tells me the mama didn't necessarily know about it at first. And then when she found out about it, she might have been a little upset, but she's not going to be that upset. But the problem for everybody on the show is that, oh, he talked about it. My problem is that he did it at all. Okay? I don't give a fuck about, oh, he talked about it. He just let us know what was going on. What he did, taking her to get vaginally checked because she went and snuck out. Like, that's a punishment. So you're basically telling me, like, that's like back in the day when, you know, crazy ass old women and men, if their daughters were out too late, they would stick their own fingers inside their children's vagina in order to see if their space was open in a way that it might show that they had sex. That's disgusting, invasive, and traumatizing. And I imagine that Deja might have felt some type of way about it, but felt like she couldn't really tell her daddy, no, I'm not going to the doctor's office with you so you can check to see if I'm a virgin. You know why? Because she was in trouble for sneaking out. This was a punishment. And Tiny reminded us of that as she sat there and tried to make excuses as if this was the right way to handle it. And I would ask her a question, would you have let him do that to Zonique? Because to me, I feel like you so busy walking on eggshells trying to make sure you don't piss him off so he don't run off and go fuck another Tasha Skanks on you, that you won't speak up and do the right thing for the girl children that are in your house. And that makes me upset with Tiny. Because it's just the whole episode, she's just basically narrating from this ignorant point of view of, oh, I have to be supportive of my husband, even when he is obviously wrong to the detriment of our children. That is problematic to me. So Latoya and all of the girls are sitting around the pool while Monica and Toya are getting massages, okay? And they talked about how Latoya and Tommy have, you know, been getting it on and how they want to take this energy with them back home. They don't want to go home and start arguing again. They want to stay in this mind frame of loving up on one another, okay? Monica talks about how she just set the internet on fire with her little subtle classy crack nudes, okay? And I'm appreciative of that because I do agree that she's very beautiful and it's something that she otherwise would not have done. I remember when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, Monica posed nude, she looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you felt about it. So good for you, Monica. And then Tiny brings up this situation with Deja and Tip because it is very awkward, it is uncomfortable. The trip is no longer enjoyable at this point, okay? And you can tell that Tiny has this defensive, nervous energy to where she is trying to plead Tip's case because she realizes how terrible this probably looks to all of the women in the room. Because I don't feel like any of these women, as educated and smart as they are, and what I mean is educated on life. They may not be college graduates, but these are not women who have made it thus far by letting men take advantage of them, okay? Like, they tried, but they failed, okay? Like, so I'm looking at this situation like I know deep down that these women, Monica, Latoya, Toya, I know they have something more to say about this. But everybody's gonna walk on eggshells because they don't want to upset Clifford. I'm tired. I'm just tired of this. I'm tired of this. This is when Tiny tells them that Deja did something to prompt T.I. saying, oh, okay, that's what you're doing, so let's go get you checked out. As if that makes it okay. That does not make it okay. That does not make it okay. Tiny then blames it on Deja and says that Deja should have told him that she did not want to go to the doctor, as if he would have listened to her. He don't even listen to you when you tell him you don't want to do something. And you think he was going to listen to the person that he's responsible for taking care of, his child? Like, I was just like, wow, Tiny. way to be like such an example of a woman that cares more about how a man feels than how a girl child in her household feels. Like, I mean, you blame Deja? She should have told him no. She should have told her daddy, no, I'm not going to the doctor with you. It would have made him think. It probably would have changed his mind, but it would have made him think. What would it have made him think other than my child doesn't want the punishment that I have decided to give her after she has disrespected my wishes by sneaking out the house to see some little boy? Tiny, if you don't like go read a book and get some therapy, sis, because like there's some stagnant growth going on inside you because of this relationship with this man. And you would think all the times y'all have broken up, you know what I'm saying, you would be in a position to where you would be able to check him. When you are a husband and a wife, when y'all are a couple, y'all are supposed to check each other. Especially when it comes to these kids. You are not supposed to let your husband say and do any old ignorant ass shit just because he can. You're supposed to knock the shit out of him and tell him to shut up because he's wrong. You're supposed to correct him. T.I. don't need to have had sisters. He got a wife, a mama, and 2 daughters. 3 daughters now. Nieces, all of these women in his family and are around him, and everybody is too scared to check him, yet it's supposed to be Lil Deja's responsibility to explain and tell her daddy what it's gonna be. But y'all grown ass women can't do it. Oh Lord. Everybody agrees that he shouldn't have talked about it publicly. So everybody has dinner. It's awkward. Tiny says when Deja is ready to talk, she will come to tip. Deja says in a confessional right after that she feels T.I. is the one that needs to come to her because he's the one that did something wrong. Zonique then asked King about his little girlfriend, and I think this was trying to, you know, lighten the mood, because whenever we talk about King and whatever he's doing, then it's fun and games. But it's all seriousness when it comes to Deja and her hymen, boy. So at some point the girls are singing, I wanna get drunk, I wanna get drunk, or whatever, okay? And you know, Toya was like, oh what are y'all singing down there? And then T.I. calls Deja. Zonique was singing that way, Reginae was singing that way, Deja was singing that way. But he calls Deja to tell her that she's 18, not 21, and to be a role model to the younger people at the table. And I'm like, let's start off here. First of all, T.I., you are not a role model to your children when they can Google you and find out everything you have said and done, including referring to their mother as a distraction. Okay? Let alone the video with Tasha Skanks, okay? Like, boy, okay? So there's that. You're not even an example. The second thing is that 18 is the legal age to drink in Mexico. Therefore, she is not doing anything wrong by partaking, okay? Third of all, Zonique is also an example. Reginae is also an example. They're both excited to go and get drunk. What are you talking about, T.I.? And see, this is the problem when you choose to be an adolescent and also be a father and a parent at the same time, and all of your shit is on Front Street and online for people to Google. How can you actively parent your children when you cannot give them an example of what the fuck they should be doing because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing? Deja can't take this. She thought that he was about to say something about the situation to her, but that's not what happened. So she just walks away. Tip and Tiny get back and they go talk to the nieces. Okay, I didn't get the niece's name, but the nieces felt like they needed to talk to him on behalf of Deja. And y'all, the fact that they had to even explain it to him so hard, and then he got to go and sit down with Deja's mama on a podcast and further have this explained to him before it clicks, really convinces me that this is all about production. And you may not necessarily feel like you did anything wrong. It's just, it has to have a beginning, a middle, and the end. And right now we are in the middle where the nieces are speaking on Deja's behalf and trying to get him to understand that it's not a joke. It's her sexuality. It's her private business that you have now made fodder for public consumption. And that is not right. You did not do your job as a protector when you did not protect her from that, because you were too busy running your mouth and using your control over her as a badge of honor as a father or some shit. He continues to say it was a joke, and it's just like, you know, if he talks about how the boys peed the bed, and I'm like, the boys peeing the bed is something that ends in adolescence. You are talking about a young woman's sexuality. That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing at all. Tip feels like Deja should have come to him and explained that she had an issue. And they explained to him that she brushes things under the rug. She is not the type to come to you and vocalize. So you as the parent need to change how you move depending on the child. If you know your child is, you know, somebody that will just kind of let things fester and not really say anything, you're supposed to go to them and try to get it out of them so that they can express themselves. That's what you're supposed to be doing as a parent. Not just teaching them about how they're going to be told no in the world, but also show them how to be emotionally capable of expressing themselves, and that it is okay. That is how you are teaching them to be healthy mentally and emotionally, when you can tell them it's okay for you to express your feelings to me, instead of just assuming that they're gonna come to you with it, especially when you don't give them the space to do so. So y'all, then we see King practicing for this show he got. Y'all know he was supposed to get like 250 people in there, and he called himself rehearsing, but Tiny came in and said that, you know, this is boring. I don't know what you're doing, but this ain't gonna get nobody excited. If you came to one of my shows standing on the stage with your hair, you get booed, okay? And I don't care what y'all say. I think King is adorable. I don't care what anybody say. I think King is a cute kid, okay, to me. He's just bad and spoiled, but he is very cute to me. I don't care what anybody says, okay? They was about to leave after Tiny finished going in on him about how ill-prepared he looked for this performance. You trying to win, ain't you? This ain't gonna win, okay? Okay, y'all, Eris was like, no, mommy, I don't want to leave. She was like, why, Eris? What else do you want to do here? And she was like, I didn't get a chance to sing. Y'all, this little girl is like 5 years old. I didn't get a chance to sing. So clear, okay? She's just gonna be, her and Masia are probably gonna be the smartest people in this entire family. And so Tiny gives her the microphone, and she gets on the stage. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Party on down to the XKP. I said, bitch, XKP. I said, what is XKP? I thought it was Escape Beat. I'm tired of y'all changing lyrics on us 20 years later and expecting us to catch up. No, it's gonna be to the Escape Beat from now until forever. XKP. What the hell is XKP? There's not a K in escape. Then we see Red put together this really nice, lovely dinner with candles and food and just nice ambiance for Toya, and she thought he was gonna propose, but he didn't. He was actually, you know, doing that to congratulate her on the book that she wrote. She wrote another child's book, and you know, it's for her daughter Rainbow, and then she had the little book signing, and that was adorable. Okay, like, baby boss, shh, cut it, shh, quiet, okay? Cut it, quiet. You know what I mean. Y'all, that little girl and her eyebrows are adorable. I can't take it. She's so cute and so smart. I would eat her face. Like, I don't understand like how Toya isn't like constantly like eating her daughter's face all the time. She's so adorable. Then Toya and LaToya talk about the T.I. and Deja situation, and we get Tommy's take on things in the confessional, and he says he doesn't know whether he would do that to his two, you know, girl childs. He don't know if he would do that to them. And I feel like you wouldn't do that to them. You would separate yourself and allow their mothers to handle that area of their lives. That's what you would do, Tommy. We know. But nobody wants to say that T.I. was wrong and that they wouldn't have handled it that way. Everybody wants to say, I don't know if I would. I don't know. If I was him, maybe. Like, no, nigga. Like, just say no, I would not handle it that way. That's uncomfortable. That's out of pocket. Like, say it. It's okay to say it. What he gonna do? So then King has his performance, and it actually went well. He brought a lot of the kids on the stage and had them jumping up and down, so they had a good time and everything. It was only 193 people, so he did not win the bet with Clifford. However, he feels like one day he will be able to use this to make his father know he was wrong about him. And I'm like, the only thing your daddy wants you to do is go to school. And we all want you to go to school because you don't know the difference between a state and a city. You need to go to school and learn first, okay? You don't have to do it all right now. You're gonna burn out before anybody gives a shit about you, okay? Be trying to be a child star. Your pa should have taught you. A lot of child stars don't continue to be stars. It is best to be a child, and then as an adult, come out and give us some real solid, educated artistry. Okay, and what we mean is, you don't have to be educated college-wise, but be educated about what the hell you doing. You want to be a rock star and shit. Why you ain't learned how to play a fucking instrument or something? Y'all want to be musicians, but y'all only want to get on stage and rap and jump around and shit. Y'all don't want to actually put forth any real effort. Not y'all, King. Okay, because I feel like the other kids are serious about this shit. You know what I mean? But I just look at him and feel like he wants to do music as a way to get out of school. I wouldn't allow it at all. Like, in all honesty, you wouldn't be able to perform until your grades were better, because you have to crawl before you walk, or your ass will fall. Okay, that's just how this goes. So then we see Tip try to call Deja per Tiny's request, but she's not answering the phone. So I think that now he's starting to feel the burn. See, everybody's all tough and shit until you call your daughter and she ain't answering the phone for your ass. And then all of a sudden, it's like, well, wait a minute. She's upset with me for real? Okay? You know, everybody thought it would have blown over by now. But oh no, Deja is still very much pissed about the situation. So he then calls upon her mother to come on a podcast and explain Deja's point of view. Honestly, I feel like her mama didn't do that great of a job at it, because I feel like it was all about letting Tip off the hook. Yeah, he had to learn something and all of that, but ultimately he said the same thing that he had been saying since the beginning, that this was a joke. And I feel like somebody needed to strongly proclaim that his daughter's virginity and her sexuality is not a joke, and it is not something that he should be using as entertainment for other people. It's also not something he should look at as a badge of honor for himself. Like, it's almost as if he measures her value based off of how far away she is from the women that he would like to have sex with. Like, I don't understand it, y'all. I don't understand that mind frame. But hey, here we are. Deja's mom does explain that he put Deja in the line of fire. She says the way he told that terrible dad joke, I'm like, you know, I don't like that she refers to it that way. That bothered me. He exaggerated, and that's why it was a joke. No, 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 no. The subject matter is not funny. The subject matter would never have been considered as a joke if the shoe was on the other foot. You have not gone into your sons' lives in this way in order to make sure that they're virgins, because you don't feel like it's important for them to be virgins. But you feel like that about your girls because you're a misogynistic asshole. Like what year were you born in, money? Progress, for God's sakes. Then Deja's mom says, give Tip a break because he hasn't grown up around any girls. Well, he got, like I said, he got a wife, he got a mama, he got sisters, he got you, he has his nieces, he has enough women in his life. If only those women would speak up, okay, with the exception of the nieces, because they were the only ones that spoke up. But I specifically mean the baby mama and Tiny, who I feel like allowed T.I. to get away with things because they don't want to upset shit, because Tip likes to hold his support over your head. I'm paying for it, so shut the fuck up. It's basically the attitude. He says that no one around him taught him how to be a father. So what was the problem with him seeking the information about his daughter that he felt like he wanted to know? And I feel like it's because it has no real bearing on her safety. It is more so you can feel like you're controlling her. Her having, you know, maybe having a sexual experience with her little boyfriend in no way, shape, or form devalues her or has anything to do with you as her father. If someone had hurt Deja, if someone had taken advantage of Deja, then that would be a different story. And I would like for him to have a conversation with her about that. Because to me, I feel like you want to protect her up until something actually happens. And then you're nowhere to be found. But, you know, like he said, he's done his job protecting her and all of this. I mean, he might have, but I feel like in this moment, there wasn't any protection being shown to that child, to me. It was all about your ego as a man. Then they got to explain that if her hymen had been broken and she hadn't had sex like she said she hadn't, because a hymen can be broken without you having sex, okay, then you would have looked at her like she was some lying whore. Okay, and I honestly feel like that's why you took her to the doctor, because you low-key felt like she was, you know, lying. and you wanted to make sure. Y'all, that's so traumatic of him to think that that is a valid punishment, to have her brought to the doctor to get checked out. Y'all, I hate getting pap smears. I hate them. I don't like them. I go, but I don't like them. The procedures that have to get done to women and our vaginas and all of that, it is very sometimes painful, sometimes emotional, sometimes invasive, for lack of a better word, traumatizing, even when it's not meant to be. But it's just what that physical part of us feels like and how it is connected to how we feel on the inside. So for me, the actual act of him doing that to her and then bringing it up in front of people almost seemed like a violation. And you know, the fact that he, I don't think, understands the severity of the situation is why I don't think his daughter will fully forgive him. But he says now he gets it, okay, because the hymen could have not been broken, you know, out of sex. But I feel like we explained that to him at the beginning of this and he did not care. But now he says he's wrong for what he did. But he doesn't feel like he's wrong for taking her to the doctor. I don't think that he feels bad about that at all. And so I have this question for T.I. and for Tiny and all the other people in his life. Are any of the daughters, and I say specifically the daughters because I don't feel like they care about the boys, but is their virginity tied to their value? Let us know. Let me know. I want to hear you say that your daughter is of less value to you and to the world if she has had sex. Come on and say it. Let us know. Because that's basically what you're letting us know. Y'all, I'm sorry this video was so long, but I had to take it though. I just had to. I had to dissect it and break it apart so we can all understand how dumb this sounds. Because there are people who agree with it. There are people who think that this was the right way to parent. And I feel like that is preposterous. That's preposterous. Okay? Preposterous. Okay? I'm going to use that word because I don't know what else to say. That's ridiculous. My father was one of the most like controlling, you know what I'm saying? Like just aggressive parenting. Okay, all in your business, where you going, what you doing, when you coming back, where are you right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't go. No, I don't know those people. You can't go over there. No, you can't go. It's too late. No, you can't go. You're 18. You can't. You just came back from college. You was living alone. You're living back in the house again. You can't go. Like, so I understand what it's like to have a controlling parent, a father who is trying to protect his daughter. I understand that. Trust me. That's why I know that this ain't the way, Sway. That's why I know that. Because I remember how my father created this space once that period happened. Like Regine said, okay? It's something that you really only want to discuss and deal with your mother or another woman in your life, because they physically understand it. And if you are a father and your daughter doesn't have a choice but to come to you for this, then you need to handle the shit with kid gloves or send it to somebody who will, because you physically don't have the depth. And if you can't even act like you do, you're not helpful in the situation. And T.I. is not helpful in the situation. Like, oh my God, this niggatry. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And I will see y'all in the next one.